welcome back to my channel. It's me, just Denise. If you're new to this channel, please stop what you're doing. Go ahead, subscribe below because you're going to like this content and you're going to watch more videos. And if you're a returning subscriber, hi. So it is 11:37 at night. I'm sleepy, I'm tired, but I can't go to sleep. I think because Philip's not here. But he'll be here in a little bit. So, since I couldn't sleep, I took a shower. And before I got in the shower, well, I ain't gonna tell you that part. Before I got in the shower, I was looking at YouTube. And while I got in the shower, I was thinking of YouTube. And I was like, oh snap, I didn't record that video for the young lady that commented on my other video. Yeah, I think I said that right. So I'm going to her comment now, and I'm going to answer her questions and talk a little bit about, as you can see, me being in the military with children. So let me go to her comment. So her name is Cheyenne King. I believe I'm saying her first name right. Cheyenne. Yeah. She said, can you post a video talking about what it was like enlisting with a child? I'm 21 and married with an almost 2-year-old, and I plan on leaving for the Army Reserves after my daughter's birthday in January. I've had a hard time finding personal experiences with my situation and would love to hear how you handled it and what it was like with you and your daughter when you got home from AIT. Much love from North Carolina. So, of course, I told her I would definitely make a video on it, and I asked her what specific questions or areas did she want me to weigh in on, and she said, how did your daughter handle you being gone? How did you stay focused while away from her? And what was it like for you two to reunite? I'm worried she'll either not want to come to me or she'll develop separation anxiety and freak out anytime I leave her after I get home. Also, if there's a pay difference when you have dependents in the reserves, can you talk about that? Because that's another thing I can't find information on. So, I guess I didn't read her second comment all the way through the first time because that's a lot. So, let's jump right in. If you have not watched my previous video, I know I keep saying I'm going to link videos, but I'm going to go back and link all these videos. But I'll link a video, which was the very first YouTube video I ever posted. And it talks about me joining the military. So I am 29 years old, and I've been in the military now for 9 years. I signed my contract when I was 20, and I left, I think, like 2 weeks after my 21st birthday. I turned 21 August 1st, and I left like August 16th or August 17th of 2010. So with that being said, I was a single mother at the time, and my daughter was 2? Yeah, she was 2 years old. And how can I even start off? So I don't want to repeat myself from the last video. But anyway, I was in dental school, dental assistant school, and the director or the head of the dental program was a retired Air Force. And one day he came in talking about the class. Long story short, I ended up going to an Air Force office first. They turned me down in a sense to where they was being lazy. And I went to an Army recruiting station, and everything there was history. And what's crazy is I had a friend named Rob who joined the military before me. We actually graduated together. Look, I got my class shirt on, y'all. Senior class of 2007, Center Senior High School in Kansas City, Missouri. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yellow jacket. Okay. But Rob went to the military first, and he used the recruiter. I wonder if I can say his name. I mean, I can say his name. His name was Sergeant Robita. And he had been telling me about him, but that day I wasn't focused on the Army. So it just so happened I did get Sergeant Robita without trying to. Anyway, I did go in there and I told him my spiel because I wanted to go active duty at first, actually. And unfortunately, Robita, like, I guess how recruiting was set up back then, he was like specializing, or his area was getting reserve soldiers in. So he, like, in a sense, totally played me on how I could have got in active duty and just straight pushed me to go reserve. Because if I can do it all over again, I would not change joining the Army, but I definitely would change going reserve. I would go active duty. And if you're being married, I would say sit down and talk with your husband, because not being funny, like, I would go active duty if I was you. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park. It definitely will be hard, especially those times away from your child. Like basic training and AIT, for example, with me, I did not call home every Sunday in basic training. Like in basic training, they took our cell phones. Nowadays, I believe they let you keep your cell phones. Like, yo, basic training ain't shit like it used to be back when I went to basic training. But I believe you get to keep your cell phones now. Nevertheless, I'm not sure. But back then we couldn't. We got to basic. We did in processing for a week. And then the next week we went to basic, and they got like this big locker chest thing, and we had to put our phones in a bag and put it in there and turn it off. And we only got it on Sundays to call home. I think we got to talk for an hour on Sundays, and that's if anybody didn't fuck up. If anybody fucked up enough during the week and the drill sergeants got mad, we didn't get to call our family, or we only got like 5 minutes or 10 minutes versus the hour or 30 minutes or whatever we used to get. So but I found out, like, the first time we got our phones taken from us on a Sunday, like completely, yeah, I believe it was completely, I didn't call home. I found it easier. So I didn't call home, and I went to church that Sunday too. And I found out that next week was like a breeze to me. That might sound so weird. Other parents might be different, but I hated to hear my baby miss me. Like, I could hear it in her voice that she wanted me next to her. And I wanted to be next to her. So what I did was, and I still have it. Oh, I should have dug it out. But I had this army thing, and it held a picture, and it was like a wallet and had a zipper, so I would keep like my debit card and stuff like that in there, and any cards that they gave us during training. And then I kept a picture of me and my daughter, and I wore that thing every single day in basic training around my neck. Rain, sleet, or snow, I was wearing it, and I prayed, baby girl, you gonna have to pray. Because I prayed every day, at least 10 times a day. I know God was like, look, little girl, I got you. But it took a lot of prayer, and it took separation. Like, I would go 2 weeks without, reaching out to my daughter or her hearing from me. And then I got so used to not reaching out to her and not hearing it, to where I got accustomed to it, but I would still text my mom and check on my daughter, of course. Or I would talk to my mom, and I'd be like, don't tell Ramila I'm on the phone. Just kiss her for me. Send me some pictures in the mail, whatever the case may be. And then once I got to AIT, we got our phones every single day. Like, we just couldn't take it to training. We weren't supposed to. And then we had our weekends to ourselves, so we could be on our phones, whatever. But I still didn't call her every day, because that was my coping mechanism. Like, I found out that not talking to her was just better for me. So that's how me being separated from her helped a lot. However, like I said, my mama stayed texting me. My mama would send me pictures. I did check on my daughter every day. I actually did send money to her every time I got paid on the 1st and the 15th. So when you go to basic training, if you are a single mother, or if you have family at home, or whatever the case may be, and you want some of your pay to automatically like go to them, you can set it up to where it goes to 2 different accounts. And that's all I did. Well, no, wait. Yeah, that's what I did. Because at first, no one told me that. And when we first went to the PX and basic, I cried because I couldn't send my baby money, and I felt like a deadbeat mom. I was so dramatic. But let's see. Now, I will say that with her being 2 years old, did you say how old your daughter was? Yeah, what the hell? Yes, your daughter is almost 2 years old. So your daughter knows mommy. Like, she knows who you are. My daughter was 2 years old when I left for the military, and she did not miss a beat. And of course, like, she was with my mother, and actually my high school sweetheart's mother at the time. God rest her soul. I love you, Laura Renee White. She was with them. So of course they always talked about me. They showed her pictures of me, like, when I would talk to her, I asked her, do you know who you talking to? And she said, yeah. So my baby is really smart. And I just feel like with any mother, if you're keeping that connection, even if it is that phone call once a week, like, she's not going to forget who you are. So I think with your 2-year-old, I think she'll definitely remember mommy. Now, depending on your MOS, which is your job, will depend on how long you're going to be away for a long period of time. And then, well, with you being 21, they shouldn't break it up anyway. So I joined, I left for basic training August 17th. And I graduated October 30th, I believe, because October 31st, which was Halloween, I was already at AIT. So we went straight from basic to AIT. And I went to basic training in Lawton, or Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And then my AIT was in Fort Leonard Wood, aka Fort Lawson Woods, Missouri. So I flew to Oklahoma, and then they flew me back, and then we bused to Fort Leonard Wood. But how I stayed focused, like I said, I wore that picture around my neck, and I prayed, like, literally through everything. Because basic training was hard. Like, I will not sugarcoat that whatsoever. Basic training was hard. And then I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and we were the first round of like a co-ed basic training. That basic training was for only infantry men at the time. Well, before my cycle. So I was the first cycle to go through that was co-ed. So it was hard. And if I could do it all over again, I most definitely would. I felt like I was in the best shape of my life after I left basic training. I lost a lot of damn weight. Woo, you lose a lot of weight. That's something you want to think about too when you leave for basic training, because it's harder during the winter and it's harder during the summer. But some people can get it at that really good moment, like period, when it's like winter about to be spring, and then you there for the spring. If you can get that, like, you A1. I went in the middle of summer. I went in August, and it was hot. But all at the same time, we got to enjoy the fall weather, but then it was rainy, and then it got really cold. So you kind of got to watch that. But I just stay focused by literally wearing that picture around my neck and praying, like, yo, me and God, we was extra tight, like extra tight. I prayed about everything. I prayed about not beating people up. I prayed about passing PT tests. I prayed about passing obstacles. I prayed about being a team player, like, because those females used to, woo, that's a whole nother, video. Anyway, let's see, your next question. What was it like for us to reunite? It was amazing. Like, it was just so amazing. I cried, she cried, we hugged. It was amazing. She was clingy to me when they came to like basic training graduation. They even came and visit me during Thanksgiving, because I was not actually able to go home for Thanksgiving, but we were able to go home for Christmas. So every time that we got, and that's another thing you want to think about too when you go, because if you go during the holiday times, you're going to be there during the holiday times 9 times out of 10, except for Christmas. If you are in basic or AIT during Christmas, they allow you to go home. But for Thanksgiving, baby, we ate a turkey meal at that defect, and I remember us all crying. I got pictures on my Facebook still. Whew. If I dig back, I'm gonna insert some for y'all. But it was hard. Of course, a lot of us had never been away from home. Like, I think out of our little group, I was the only one with the child. Or maybe it was me and one other person. I don't remember. But, yeah. But reuniting was amazing. Now, developing separation anxiety, not being funny, she can develop separation anxiety at any point going into the military. Like, I'm not being like rude when I say this, but if that's what you're worried about, you might as well not join, because being active duty or being reserved or whatever, like, you're not only going to be gone doing basic and AIT. If you get into the reserves, yes, you'll drill one weekend of the month, which is typically Saturday and Sunday, but sometimes you may drill Friday through Sunday or Friday through Monday, and then some drills you won't be able to go home every day. You'll have to spend the night there, and then you'll have to do annual training 3 weeks out of the month, which 9 times out of 10 is in a different city or state. And then with promotions and points of that sort, you want to go to different military schoolings to enhance your skills with your MOS. Like, it's a lot of things that go into play that's going to keep you from her sometimes. So it's like you have to pray that away. I'm not gonna lie, I never worried about separation anxiety with my daughter because I talked to her a lot, and I've always talked to her like she always understood what I was saying. I never really baby talked like her once this situation came about. So I always told her, like, I'm just a phone call away. Mama's just going to make, a better life for us. I'm gonna come back with some money. And so that's just how I kind of did that. I've missed birthdays. I've missed her first day of school before, her first 2 weeks of school before, and it was hard. Like, think about somebody else getting your baby ready first day, first grade. Like, I was torn. And then it happened again second grade. And then I missed 2 birthdays. And then it's just like, sometimes I came so close that I wasn't able to plan a big birthday bash. And I had to come up with something real quick in like a day or two. So separation anxiety, I would just say pray that away. Since you are worried about that, just pray that away. Pray that away. Pay difference when you have dependents in the reserves. Can you talk about that? Yes. So there is a pay difference when you have dependents in the reserves. So I'm just going to, I don't want to kind of read you wrong, but Google it. Do your own research. First, I always tell everybody that wants to join the military, let it be the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, or the Marines. Do all of your research first. Yeah, these videos are a part of your research, but continue to do research on your own, and don't just lean on what we say, because things change like, clockwork, and it's just you want to get your own understanding of everything. Now, pay is based off of your rank, whether or not you have dependents, your zip code or demographic area, as well as your years in service. And I believe that's it. So 4. Yes. Yeah. Now, with that being said, I am going to go to the 2019 pay rates. So let's say you start like I did, straight fuzzy, which is an E1, the lowest rank you can get coming in. With less than 2 years, you'll get $1,680 a month. That is very low. Trust me, I know. And it goes up. So like if you were E2 with less than 2 years, it is $1,884. Now, there are things that you can do before going to basic training so that you don't go in a fuzzy. I was just kind of lazy and super excited that I got in. So I was just like, you know what? I want to start from the ground up and work my way up. But ask your recruiter, because there's things you can do to either get to like E2 or E3. Or a E3, less than 2 years, you get $1,982. So that is just the straight pay with no dependents. Now, when you are talking about dependents, your dependent, the money you get for dependents, it's called BAH, which is Basic Allowance for Housing. And that goes off if you have dependents and then the area or zip code or the demographic area that you live in. So like, for example, for me, I'm going to put in my zip code that I lived in when I joined the military, which was 64131. And at the time I was in E1. Okay, you going to give me that or no? With that, the 2018 basic allowance for housing in Kansas City, Missouri, so today, right now, with dependents, it is $1,380 per month, and without dependents, it's $1,035 per month. So that's kind of what you get when you get in basic and AIT and get money for your dependents. And your husband counts as a dependent as well. So with your husband, he'll get a military ID card, not like yours. It's not going to be a CAT card. It's just going to be identification card stating that he is the spouse of someone in the military. That's if y'all are together and, work that out or whatever. So, I mean, the pay, like I said, definitely differs, and it is more than if or it is more than someone that's single with no dependents in the military. So when you're doing research on like pay for dependents and stuff, you can search or Google like BAH or go to military.com, and another good website is army.mil and goarmy.com. Those are really good websites to look at for more information. I really hope that I answered your question. I'm sorry that this video took so long to get posted. I hope it's not a super long video because I feel like I've been rambling. But if there's anything more that you want me to touch on specifically, or anyone else, please don't hesitate to leave those comments down below. I love reading y'all comments. Continue to talk to me. Y'all talk back. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the support. Don't forget to subscribe. Y'all got my watch time up. But your girl needs some subscribers. You watching. And the majority of people that watch my videos are not subscribed to my channel. What are y'all waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. Thank y'all. Bye.